This is an interesting thing. Officially, it's always claimed that the industrialized countries have caused the CO2 content of the atmosphere to rise. If you look at some works, which are cited by some, say the propaganda, sometimes they say the CO2 never disappears after it goes up, or it lasts 100 years or something in the atmosphere. This is the reason why countries say, well, the industrialized countries are the ones who cause this trouble, therefore they have to pay. This is just nonsense. Now, it's difficult to see how CO2, once it is emitted, how it disappears. I mean, it clearly disappears in the biological sphere, for the CO2 is food. And of course, a lot of the CO2 goes into the sea and is dissolved. Now, the question is, can we somehow measure how the CO2 disappears once it's emitted? Normally, you cannot distinguish which CO2 is natural and which might be emitted by humans. The only way is to have different kinds of CO2. And this was the case here. So you see here, the green points rise very steeply around 1960. And this was due to the nuclear tests which were done. The CO2 which was measured in this curve is the radioactive CO2, C14, and that comes largely from the atmospheric tests of nuclear weapons. Now, as you see, as soon as the tests stopped, the CO2, this type of CO2, goes down. Let's say a halftime of about 6 years, and it's not infinity and it's not 100 years. And so it means the claim that the industrial nations are responsible for the present CO2 in the atmosphere is just wrong, because the CO2 is very short-lived. You can see it here from this graph, which graphs carbon-14 from the nuclear tests. So this is just something where, again, the official claims are just contrary to measurements.